Going to do a quick little overview of my 92 K5 Blazer that I've been working on. That is my home-built fuel pump hot wire kit. I used one from Racetronics on the last project I did, my Turbo LS truck, and it fucking sucked. So I just built my own for this one. Got a bunch of bullshit back here, parts for this thing. I just finished building the 4L80, and I just got it in a few days ago along with the transfer case. Had to shorten the drive shaft. I've done almost nothing to the tune so far. I need to get it out and start driving it and start messing around with that. I've just done what little it takes to get it to idle here, so it definitely needs some work. Got a 7427 PCM. I don't remember what computer this thing had originally. It was some weirdo. I don't even remember the service number. I think it was equivalent to a 747, but I ditched that a long time ago. Just finished pinning in the wires from the 4L80 last night. The wideband and trans temp gauge. My sending unit for the trans temp gauge is leaking, so I'm gonna have to figure out something on it. But I built the engine. It's a 355 flat top pistons. It's got a pretty decently rowdy Lunati cam in it. I don't remember the specs off the top of my head. Long tube headers, Summit Trickflow aluminum heads, a Weiand carbureted single plane intake, a Holley throttle body that I found at the swap meet for $5. This some bitch retails for like 600 with everything. I got it without injectors, and I didn't want to mess around with adapting all of the Holley stuff to work on this truck, and I don't even know how reliable it is. So what I did instead was I made all of the GM stuff work on here: throttle position sensor, idle air control valve, injector pod, and injectors. So basically the only thing I'm using it for is the much larger throttle bores. I believe this thing is comparable to a big block throttle body. I think it's actually a little bit bigger. Got some Petronics distributor back there because the old one was worn out. I mounted the coil up here on the firewall. I've been replacing all the charge wires and everything, the little dinky charge wires, with some that I'm making myself, much heavier gauge. I added this bus bar. This is a switched bus bar, just like I did on my other truck. As you can see, I've still got a lot of tidying up of wires, which I will do once I continue to iron this thing out. But this relay turns this bus bar on key on. So I've got like my wideband and trans temp gauge and a couple other things on there. Got the fenders off and the hood and everything just for ease of working on it for right now. Got those valve covers for real cheap too. I think I paid $30 for them. I love those finned cast aluminum valve covers like that. And just like my turbo truck, I have a 454 Super Sport steering box for the quicker ratio, and then a Jeep Cherokee steering shaft, which I still need to stick on there and hook up. And then this thing had some humongous goofball ABS module computer thingamajig with about 100 fucking brake lines going in and out of it. I hate ABS, and you got to have a special scan tool. I think it's the Tech 2 or whatever to bleed the damn thing. So I eliminated it and reduced it down to just a T because I like simplicity. And I am of the opinion that ABS is for people that don't know how to drive. So start this thing up. I have the transcooler bypassed. I'm not plumbed into it at the moment. I'm waiting on some extra hose ends and fittings to get here later today, and then I will plumb into the cooler. So I'm just recirculating between the two ports on the transmission itself, so I'm not running it for very long. The wideband reading is all over the place because, like I said, I still need to massage the tune quite a bit, and I had to take the exhaust back off of it to get the tranny in, and so the sensor is right pretty close to the end of the pipe, so it's getting diluted with atmospheric air. I was able to retain my stock shift linkage. This truck was originally a 4L60 truck. I had to cut down below where the linkage connects and reclock it and weld it, and so far it's works good. I can get every gear except first, which is good enough for me. I might fiddle around with that some more later, but let's see if I can light this thing off.